All right, a good Wednesday evening to you. I am First Alert meteorologist David Ernst here with a weather update. First day back from vacation, and the forecast is definitely an active one. It's a First Alert weather day for Thursday. We have moved the severe weather outlook into the high category. A round of heavy snow is going to fall, at least heavy in terms of the totals. It's not going to be a wet, slushy mess, but it's also not going to be the lightest, fluffiest snow that we could see either. Totals generally in the 4 to 8 inch ballpark for most of you, although there is the potential if we see some banding along the Lake Michigan shoreline as the wind turns northeasterly late Thursday. Excuse me, that some of those totals might end up a bit higher towards the Lake Michigan shoreline, so highlighting the possibility of 6 to 10 inches there. And I'll show you a few other graphics as we get going in here. We'll take a look at some of the WPC, that's the Weather Prediction Center guidance, kind of a summary of all their computer models and just let you see where things stand. But most of this is going to be afternoon, evening in terms of the steadiest. Although the first flakes will start flying and we likely do see some minor accumulation in the morning, I would expect more problems out on the roads tomorrow afternoon and evening for the drive home versus tomorrow morning. Friday morning, it is possible that there are some problems that linger. We are streaming this on our Facebook and YouTube pages for WBAY TV 2. You can also get this in our WBAY First Alert News app, and if you don't have our weather app downloaded, we will make these occasionally available on the weather app, especially for severe weather. That's where we usually do our streaming. You can, if you're watching this on a desktop or a laptop, take out your smartphone and scan that QR code there beneath me, and that will take you to the splash page to download those free weather apps on your mobile device. I would highly recommend it. Can certainly give you a heads up when this kind of weather moves in. Of course, we've been tracking this system since I was on vacation. Initially over the weekend, it didn't look like it would be as big as what is likely to transpire for tomorrow. But obviously the forecast continues to be amended as weather happens, and now looks like we are in line to see a decent snowfall accumulation. It's a quick-moving system, an Alberta clipper, as we would call it. Reason being is the source region for that low is Alberta, Canada, and it's moving at a very quick speed. Snow showers right now ongoing across North Dakota, South Dakota, just getting into Minnesota. That snow will cross Minnesota tonight and eventually will get into northeastern Wisconsin. Out ahead of that snowfall, the National Weather Service has winter weather advisories in blue and winter storm warnings in white. You're going to see the higher totals for any given area where you see those warnings and lower totals around that to the north and south where you have those winter weather advisories. Locally in Wisconsin and northeastern, upper Michigan, that translates into 4 to 8 inches for those winter storm warned areas, which does include the Fox Cities and Green Bay, so Winnebago, Outagamie, Brown counties, all of our Lake Michigan shoreline counties from Manitowoc through Door County, Menominee, Michigan, you are included in this, as well as Oconto and Marinette counties. As you start getting north and west of those, you would see 3 to 5 inches of snow, or at least that's what we would expect, and then south of the Fox Cities as well, looking at a 3 to 5 inch snowfall. So Mickey, on Highway 8, if you're heading farther east and getting into the UP side of that, then I would certainly expect you to be looking at 5, 6, maybe up to 7 inches as you're heading out towards the Rhinelander area into Vilas County, that direction in Wisconsin. Total should drop off, but still looking at around 3 inches. Kelly, that is going to be a question for every individual school district as far as their releases. I doubt we would see any outright cancellations, but I would not be at all surprised if there are some early dismissals, maybe some 11 a.m., noon, 1 p.m. type dismissals. We'll just start to get into the steadier snow as we head through the afternoon. So let's go ahead and time this out with First Alert Pinpoint Predictor and just show you where things stand right now. So going through tonight, this is going to be quiet. Clouds will gradually increase. That increase in cloud cover will lead to temperatures leveling off. So we'll drop into the upper teens and then kind of hold steady in the upper teens for the rest of the night. And you'll notice here 7 a.m. still dry, snow-free in the Fox Cities. But we would expect that snow to start creeping into our western areas around that time. And over the course of Thursday morning, that snow does overspread the Fox Cities, lakeshore areas, and will move into the rest of northeastern Wisconsin with time. Here at 10 a.m., as the first flakes are coming down, there could be just a little thin layer of slush that develops initially. It may take an hour or two before we start to see some real problems develop. But you'll notice as we get into the afternoon and through the evening, that snow is just steady, continuous, ongoing. There may be times where it's not snowing exactly where you are, but it will be close by, and there could be some heavier bursts of snow, and in fact some of the steadiest snow coming down right at the time of our evening commute. So when we look at computer guidance, this is one model run here showing snow totals at 6 p.m. tomorrow. So this is from now through 6 p.m. Thursday. A lot of us in that 3, 4, 5 inch range for how much snow has fallen from when the event starts until 6 o'clock in the evening. So again, with a 4 to 8 inch snowfall expected for most of us, you're roughly at the halfway point or maybe just a little beyond that. Maybe 60% of the snow that you'll see has fallen by 6 p.m. So certainly would anticipate there being travel issues on the untreated roads, for sure. But even the treated ones, when you're talking about 2, 3, 4 inches of snowfall, yes, if the plow has just come through, then it will be relatively clear. But if you get into one of those stretches where maybe it's been, an hour or two since the plow went by, you certainly could see some issues mounting there. So the bottom line is I would expect a slow and slushy commute on Thursday evening. So let's pick it back up here. We'll start Thursday evening and go into the overnight hours, and you'll notice 7, 9 o'clock and beyond, the snow showers start to taper off into central Wisconsin, but we stay into that steady snowfall through eastern parts of the state. Let me get into the tomorrow evening and beyond graphic here. So again, just kind of showing you that snow will be persistent, especially from the Fox Cities eastward through the night. 3 o'clock in the morning, could still see some of those heavier snow bands coming off of Lake Michigan right into Door, Manitowoc, Kewaunee counties, and that may not come to an end until 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So that's why I would expect the higher totals coming out of those areas. You'll note as we get into Friday, especially early in the day, in fact, let me roll the graphic back here, that wind really starts to pick up, maybe 10, 20 miles per hour sustained, gusts to 30 or so on Friday morning once the snow wraps up. Might have a little bit of blowing and drifting especially as the event is wrapping up. The snow does turn a little bit lighter. So that wind could cause some issues, and certainly looking at the harsh wind chills that you would expect to come along with the cold incoming air behind this system. When all is said and done, so this would include everything that falls Thursday, everything that falls Thursday night, you do see a lot of us into that, again, 4 to 8 inch range around the Fox Cities. Green Bay, we're right in the middle of that, 5, 6 inches, maybe up to 7 in spots, and then Lakeside, again, watching for that banding of snow coming off of Lake Michigan. Maybe that bumps totals a little higher there. And those lakeside areas, that could be one of those issues where, part of the county, maybe in Manitowoc, you get 6 inches of snow, and then you head just north into Two Rivers or north of there, and it's 9 or 10. In Door County as well, you can see some totals vary by quite a bit over short distances, depending on how those bands set up with that northeast wind kicking up late tomorrow. So we will be keeping a close eye on road conditions tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. If you have any travel plans over that time frame, keep an eye on it. We have road conditions that update from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation on our 24/7 digital weather channel, and you can find those as well at 511wi.gov. But we do have them available on the Weather Channel for you. In fact, just go ahead and pull the map up really quick. The DOT has actually made a few changes. And let me see, and this is one I need to update my banner on this one. The Wisconsin DOT, just in case you're wondering, has removed the ice-covered category. So it used to go good winter driving. That has been changed to the verbiage of normal driving. And then you used to have slippery stretches, snow-covered, and ice-covered. And they eliminated ice-covered, and now you just get partially covered and totally covered. It does not specify snow or ice, just something on the road surface that's slippery. And then there's also the travel not advised category and no report. So they have simplified the reporting by eliminating one of those categories. So we will, I'll have to update, again, my banner on the particular graphic that I just called up to eliminate that ice covered. But as you would expect right now, all roads are in good shape, and I will get my graphic updated as well as everything else on the station. And so we have those road reports for you tomorrow evening. And likely we do see some problems persisting into your Friday morning. No snow falling Friday morning, but we will see that snow create problems. Again, if you're looking at 6-7 inches of it, that is going to lead to some problems that will linger. Melissa, we will see the snow developing over the course of the morning, and it will get heavier and steadier by the afternoon with 3 or 4 inches on the ground by 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Real quick, I do want to open up a few graphics here that I don't always get a chance to show you on the air. So the first graphic that I've got here, and I'll do a little explainer on it before we dig into it, is what I like to call my so you're telling me there's a chance graphic. So this is derived from computer guidance, and what it is showing as the amount of snow that we would expect to see on the high end. So there is 10% of model guidance would say you get more snow than what is indicated on the graphic that I have. So there's a 90% chance you see this much or less. So it's, again, I like to call it, you're telling me there's a chance. This is what I would call the realistic high end. If the system kind of comes in a little stronger than forecast, this will give you an idea of just how much snow you might have to shovel, as opposed to just throwing our hands up and saying, oh, it could be 5 feet. It's not going to be that much, but again, this will give you an idea of the high-end potential. So there's a 1 in 10 chance that you would see more than what is on the screen. Now, of course, I don't have the legends on there. Let's see if the lines match up closely with what I had. I manipulated this earlier. The pink line there is 10 inches, and so inside of that pink area that was just highlighted, so Marinette, Sturgeon Bay, Northern Kewaunee County, that is the 10-inch or more line. So there's a 10% chance, a 1 in 10 chance that you would get more than 10 inches of snow in that area. The 8-inch line cuts right through Green Bay, well, really right through Wrightstown, runs between Appleton and Green Bay. So that's going to be the 8 to 10, and then you would have 6 to 8 inches in the area surrounding that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this graphic pulled into my show. And that way I will be able to use some arrows on here instead of just kind of voicing over it. So as it's playing through, once it gets to the end, I can pull up my red arrow. Brian, if you're watching, it'll be our first red arrow sighting in quite some time. So again, this pink line right here is 10 inches or more of snowfall. So it would be the 10 to 12 inches is what you would expect to be the high end, right from, say, just north of Sturgeon Bay down through the Kewaunee area, across the bay, Oconto, Marinette, Peshtigo, those areas. This blue line here that you see, Shawano, going through Wrightstown down through Manitowoc County, that is 8 inches. So between that blue line and the pink line there would be 8 to 10 inches. So Green Bay right in the middle of that, you're right at 9 inches of snowfall if this system kind of overperforms. And then everybody else is in that 6 to 8 inch window there. So, the high end, if the system overperforms, is the high end of what we're forecasting. Now let's take a look at the what the realistic low end is. And this is a while since I've touched this graphic. I did not update this one. I'll go ahead and pull this camera up just so I'm talking into the camera here while I'm doing the work behind the scenes. It's been, like I said, some time since I have updated this graphic. I probably have not pulled this one out since maybe last February or even January. So the numbers on it may not match up, but this is the 10th percentile here over the next 48 hours. And what the graphic would show is that we're all in the 2 to 4 inch range. So what this means is that there's a 90% chance that everybody in northeastern Wisconsin, including Menominee County, Michigan, would see at least 2 inches of snowfall and up to 4. So again, not a guarantee that you will get the high end of the totals. A lot of times I feel like we put the maps out and people see, 4 to 8 inches possible, and you assume, I've got to get the 8 inches. It doesn't quite work that way. So everybody is guaranteed at least 2. Most of us won't see more than 8. But, the grand total will end up somewhere in between, and I suspect around the Fox cities, most of us are in the middle of that 4 to 8 range that we're looking at. So 5, 6 inches, maybe on the high end. There are some spots that are closer to 7. Let me see if I have my all models graphic. I have not gone through it to actually put my computer-generated map out, but I did save off all the snapshots for those individual graphics. So what I like to do sometimes is, again, just show you the model spread of everything that we've got coming through. So this should be it right here. Okay, so it is through Thursday. Let's see, I do have nothing from the gem. I should be able to turn that one on. It must be, we changed our graphic system and I uploaded them, but they did not show up the way I had anticipated. So unfortunately, don't have that graphic for you. I guess you were just looking at my face the whole time and you didn't see that, but I will see if I can get that whipped up over the course of the day and into tomorrow, just to show you where the guidance spread is. But obviously, if we're calling for 4 to 8 inches of snowfall, there's going to be a lot of computer guidance in that camp. We're coming up on 9:30 right now, so I do have to get something recorded for our 24/7 Weather Channel. You can find that on your local cable system. I believe it's 992 on Spectrum. Couldn't tell you what it is on TDS, but I know we're on there. You can find it over the air at 2-2. We also have it streaming on our website, so you'll be able to find it there and through our First Alert weather app. So multiple ways to watch that live stream. You will get updated forecast videos from the meteorologists here in the First Alert Weather Center, as well as custom forecast graphics, and then just the slate of normal graphics that are always running satellite imagery, radar imagery, current temperatures, and that kind of thing. So that's all waiting for you on our First Alert Weather Channel. I will have an update coming up on Action 2 News at 10 o'clock tonight. And then, of course, it'll be, our schedule is always changing around here. Bruce, yes, Bo is no longer with us, so that's why you've seen Steve do some fill-in times where you wouldn't usually see him. I've done some of that, and Keith, unfortunately, his schedule gets bounced around a lot in this situation, but we should be fully staffed in a few more weeks. So, again, First Alert Weather Day on Thursday for a 4 to 8 inch snowfall for most of us. Could have some slippery travel lingering on Friday. The rest of the weekend could be a little on the blustery side and a little cooler than it's been lately, but all in all should be quiet. Then watching for another round of snow on Monday preceding the Packers game, and also just ahead of Christmas. And if you had asked me a couple of weeks ago, I would have said it's unlikely we would see a white Christmas in northeastern Wisconsin, but given the forecast tomorrow and the potential for more snow on Monday, I would say it is looking increasingly likely that we will see a white Christmas in northeastern Wisconsin and into upper Michigan. So with that, we'll go ahead and call our quits here on the live update. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Facebook. My Facebook page, it is David Ernst, WBAY meteorologist. You can throw me a like there, ask me a question in the messages, and I'll try to get back to you when I can. Hope you have a great night and stay safe if you'll be out there doing any traveling tomorrow.